Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Before the damn live stream even start, I see somebody's in here. Uh, we say Fury was robbed. Fury got robbed. What happened? He got some stuff stolen from him. I didn't hear that in the news. I was just on boxing scene, man. I didn't hear nothing about Fury being robbed today. Wait for a few of you guys to show up, man. Just want to speak briefly on a few topics, give you guys some news you can use concerning the heavyweight division. Let me see. Speak about seen an article on boxing scene with Michael Hunter. He conducted an interview with Sky Sports, giving his opinion about smaller heavyweights being contenders in this era of the super tall heavyweights. Want to speak about Usyk and Parker possibly, man. If the WBO has Anthony Joshua, they make him vacate that title, man. They're talking about. I was seeing the article. Dave Higgins, Parker's manager, or whatever, and he was saying that Usyk and Parker could be in play for that vacant strap if it is vacated by the WBO. Lawrence Williams was good. Jay Jerk, what's up, man? And also want to talk about Chinese heavyweight Junlong Zhang. All right. So I'm going to start with the first topic, man. Zhang Zhang, and shout out to my man, Heavyweight Rankings and News. I saw this on his page earlier as well. I came out on a live the other day and said that he will be in action here in America. And from what I know, man, it's going to be his American debut. Lewis Hinton was good, bro. It's going to be his American debut. Pretty sure all his fights been in China. All right, now not to be confused with Zhilei Zhang, okay, not the Olympian that won silver and all that, that's fought in America and all that, that fought Curtis Harper. Talking about Junlong Zhang. All right, he's 18-0 with 18 knockouts. They call him the Dragon King. He is 38 years old. He's a southpaw, just like Zhilei Zhang is. He's a southpaw, but he's a southpaw fighter. He will be taking on Rodney Moore. Moore's a guy, man. I remember he got in the ring with Roy Jones Jr. about 4 years ago. I remember him being a Roy Jones opponent. I think Roy Jones was like 46 or something at that time, or something like that. Also seen him fight Roberto Alfonso. You know what I mean? And Alfonso's a Cuban fighter, undefeated. I think he had a draw with Kaladze. Alfonso did, but I know Alfonso's in a lot of Deontay Wilder training camps. But anyways, man, more the type of dude, man. He has multiple losses. He's only been knocked out a few times. He's been there with kind of who's who. Knows how to survive. Kind of built like a tank. Small, shorter heavyweight, round. Likes to use a tight high guard. Wants to peck away with the jab. Come overhand rights and left hooks, and he'll plod forward a little bit. Knows how to survive. Then he'll go from the high guard to giving you his shoulder. Then he'll roll and grab. I mean, he's just one of them type of dudes. You know what I mean? So Zhang is a dude that doesn't. He's not really a fast starter, although he has all the knockouts. He wants to find a home for that left hand, place left hands on you, walk you down, get you up out of there. All right. So, like I said, American debut, man. Hopefully for him at least, he come over here and get a knockout and kind of a small card. I mean, he'll be in action January 24th in Humboldt, Texas, man. So. Not a big card by any means, but a big, a knockout on any card near heavyweight want to hopefully get some notoriety. All right, but yeah, he'll be fighting him. And then let me see here, see what y'all talking about. St. Cruzan says Fury wasn't robbed. In fact, I could make a good case Wilder was robbed. Yeah, bro, I know what I thought he meant Fury got robbed today. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. My man Unbiased was good, bro. He says Simon Kean versus Daniel Martz official for February 21st. Thanks for the shout out, bro. Just joined in when you shouted out. Salute. Oh, no problem, man. You know what I mean? If I get my information from somewhere else, I always like to shout out that source, man. You know what I mean? So shouts out to you. And while you saying it, shit, Simon Kean's back in action against Daniel Martz. Daniel Martz just been passed around, man. Like, geez, man, that Daniel Martz getting knocked out by some of everybody. But Kean was able to revenge his loss to Dylan Carmen. You know what I mean? So Daniel Martz would be, I guess, a nice little stay busy fight. I don't even. even though Daniel Marks did make Charles Martin dig a little bit. Charles Martin had to dig a little bit to beat Daniel Marks that night. I'm not gonna lie about that. You know what I mean? He actually put up a good fight against Charles Martin. I'm not gonna lie about that. Uh, so yeah, Simon Kean also back in action, the Canadian heavyweight, February 21st. All right, so put that out there as well. Teddy B, Midwest Sports Talk, what's good, bro? My man Lawrence Williams says Lovejoy supposed to make his U.S. debut February 13th. That's for hey, if just the irony of what Lawrence just said is funny as hell, man. Being that Lovejoy is a damn American, he's from L.A. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of his fights been in Mexico, man. So for him to make his U.S. debut, that just sounds funny as hell. Uh, Timothy Moan, what's good, bro? Timothy Moan, undefeated heavyweight up in here, 5-0. Your fight still going on January 11th, bro? In a couple days here. Tim says, hopefully I can be on the Matchroom show in Miami. Fingers crossed. Hopefully you are too, man. Definitely want to see more of you, man. And keep your name out there. Keep your name buzzing from that AJ camp. Uh, 2 times, you know what I mean? You was out there and, helping AJ and everything. Uh, Now let me speak about the interview with Michael Hunter that I seen, man. I agree with a lot of what Michael was saying. If you guys know, I'm a big fan of well all heavyweight airs, but I really like the 70s and 80s because just the hand speed, just the fluidity of the way guys fought, putting combinations together. It was nothing to see guys throw 4, 5, 6, 7 punch combinations. Actually, it was just pretty much the norm. Like when you go watch those fights, the commentators, I mean, unless it was good back and forth action like a Holmes versus Norton or something like that, but that was just normal. You know what I mean? Now it's like looked at as like you're special if you can throw that many damn punches consecutively, you know what I mean, throughout the duration of a fight. But you go back, I watched a lot of my favorite fighter, Larry Holmes, went back, watched a lot of his fights, man, over the last few days. Watched the Burbick fight, watched the Norton fight, watched the Scott Franks fight. I mean, I watched some of everything, man. Watched the Bone Crusher Smith fight again. Crazy, man. Before I get to what Michael was saying, as I was watching that, y'all, you guys know I love bringing up how I think Wilder gets a lot of Larry Holmes treatment. I swear to y'all, man, this shit is so parallel, bro. It's not even funny. If you guys go listen to like the pre-fight build-ups to like the Bone Crusher Smith fight, the Burbick fight, the Marvis Frazier fight, all those fights, bro, you would think Larry Holmes was a bum. The way they talked about him, I know for the Bone Crusher Smith lead up, Larry Merchant, a young hating Larry Merchant, was saying he was making all these jokes, saying, "Man, Larry Holmes takes easy fights in between easy fights." Ha ha ha. Larry Holmes hasn't fought any household names, and this was like going into like his ninth title defense. This it's the same parallel, man. Then what really took it home is they did an interview with Larry Holmes, right? And Larry Holmes was like, "Yeah, they never said I was gonna get nowhere." This is the pre-fight build-up to the Burbick fight. It was either Burbick or the Bone Crusher Smith. I think it was the Burbick one, but anyways, he was like, now this really hit home. The dude said they didn't think he said in 1976 they wrote me off. They didn't think I was gonna make it this far. They thought I was an Ali carbon copy, and he said this, his words, not mine. And they said I had thin legs. I swear to God. Who does that sound like? Deontay Wilder, don't it? So when I say that, y'all, I really mean it. I'm not just saying Larry Holmes to say Larry Holmes. Bro, I'm talking about the pre-fight buildups, though. What a lot of the media was saying, it's the same shit. He ain't fought nobody. Then the pre-fight build-up to Cooney, they were saying, and what did dude say? Dude was like, too bad for Larry Holmes. He's not growing up, or he's not in the era where there's a prime Ali, Joe Louis, um, Jack Johnson, bringing up all the great fighters from past eras, Floyd Patterson. This is what they said. So that's what I be saying, y'all. A lot of this shit is just a replay, man. A lot of this is just a remix of yesteryear, y'all. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of this stuff isn't new, man. But anyways, back to Michael Hunter. I do agree with what he was saying, man. He said that, guys shouldn't be so fully based on being bulky and muscle bound and all that. And he believes that guys should be more limber and have fluidity. Just be more natural as fighters, have long muscles, not bulky muscles. It was crazy. I see Timothy up in here. Hey, Tim, bro, I remember about 2016, I was saying, man, AJ should lay off the weights, get a little bit more leaner with his. with his just his physique and everything, I think he'll be a much more I think it'll suit him better. I was getting called a hater. What do you know? You just do it on YouTube. You're probably some out of shape fat bump, which I'm not, but all this stuff. And I'm like, and then so funny, right? Fast forward 3, 4 years later, he's doing exactly what a lot of us was just saying that he should have been doing back then. But when a guy's having success and you come across as trying to critique that guy, at least nowadays looked at as a hater. Although all the great fighters of the past had long, lean muscles, and especially at heavyweight, you know what I mean? There was some guys that did have bulky muscles and everything like that, suited for their style. But to me, if you're 6'6", 6'7", you know what I mean, with long arms and long reach, you shouldn't want to fight like a bulky fighter. You should want to have that lean muscle. Even if you are muscle bound, still uh, do stuff in the gym that's going to lean out your muscles, man, and be more fluid as a fighter. Be more nimble. I'm not saying you got to be a prime Larry Holmes, prime Ali, but be a little bit more loose. You know what I mean? At least the way Lennox used to do it, or you know what I mean, Tony Tucker and guys like that, man. Riddick Bowe. You know what I mean? So I agree with a lot of what Michael was saying. Um, you got Gassiev moving up. Another guy I'm about to touch on here in a second with Usyk. You know what I mean? So you got some cruiserweights moving up, man, trying to make a move and see what they could do in this era. But even some of the tall guys right now, AJ, we seen what he did with his style, right? He went back foot, leaned out a little bit. You know what I mean? Lost a lot of that bulk, right? Deontay Wilder, he comes from a basketball background. Basketball players naturally have what? Good footwork. I think from coming from a different sport, I always thought basketball players make the better boxers than football and rugby and all them other sports. But that's just me, based on just the footwork and just lean muscle. You know what I mean? And having long arms and things like that. Uh, Wilder's athletic for his height, quick. You know what I mean? Tyson Fury can bend at the waist really well for his height. So you want to have that good natural boxing ability too, man. Um, in my opinion, at least, if that suits your style. Now, a guy like Moten, for example, right? Shorter, built like a tank type of guy, wants to work those fast hands, wants to make himself shorter, bob and weave his way in, work behind a quick jab, get on the inside, overhand rights, left hooks, uppercuts, attack the body, pivot around, attack your ribs, that type of thing. As long as it's suit, but even if you're like that, you still want to be nimble, quick with your movements. You know what I mean? Tight, quick movements. Um, so I agree with that. All right, now with Usyk, right? Dave Higgins, I seen an interview. Like I said, Dave Higgins was talking about, if the WBO is vacated, you're going to have Usyk and Parker. And I'm glad the WBO has it like that because to me, to try to make these rankings make sense, man. To me, if a title is vacated, the best way, if you're just going to have one fight to decide who's going to fight for that vacant title, if there's a mandatory guy in place that's waiting for the shot, I think you should have him versus the next highest rated available guy. And this situation is going to be Usyk and Parker, and I think that's the right way to do it. You know what I mean? I know they're talking about Usyk and Chisora. I'm not sure, even though Chisora has multiple losses and kind of comes across as like with all those losses still formidable, the way like Mike Weaver was back in the day. Guy had a handful of losses, but still pretty damn dangerous to some degree. Um, I'm not sure Usyk want to take on Chisora if that we gotta wait and see what the WO wants to do. But I don't see Usyk taking on Chisora and then fighting Parker. I see him just waiting it out to see what the WO is going to do, and then probably possibly try to take on Parker. Now Parker's due to be in the ring. I did a video about it the other day. They're talking about in February. You know what I mean? Late February. I know Eddie Hearn has a card out there, I believe in Frisco, Texas, late February. So we're talking about Parker coming back. I'm expecting he'll take on a low mid tier type of French contender esque or maybe like a journeyman type of guy to fulfill that date. That's just what I think he'll do. Kind of damn near what he did up in Rhode Island. You know what I mean? Like a stay busy, or as they call it in the UK, a takeover type of fight. Um, but my thing is, why even wait, man? I mean, you gotta wait for the WBO. But if if AJ decides to vacate, goes the route of fighting Pulev for his IBF defense, we need to make Usyk versus Parker right away. And it's funny, a couple years ago, man, I said that there are some guys I think Usyk can beat. This one, he was still at cruiserweight, taking place in that tournament. Parker was one of the guys that I thought that he could beat, or make it's damn near debatable. Now this one, he was at cruiser, just based on their size, they're pretty much close in height, reach. I'll give the power advantage to Parker. Um, but shit, they're pretty much close in dimensions. And I've always said I think Usyk could have far better success against a guy like that than a guy like Fury or Wilder, based on styles. That's pretty much it, man. Let me see what y'all got to say before I head out here. See y'all then joined up in here. Let me see. Saint Cruising. Okay, Mala 2243 was good, bro. Saint Cruising was good. Teddy B, Midwest Sports Talk says home speed was insane. Man, that shit was ridiculous, man. Bro, if you go back watch them, his jab is just so. I mean, words can't even really describe it, man. It was just so quick. The dude can bring his jab from his hip to his opponent, hit his opponent on key right in the face quicker than some guys can get there with the traditional stance where they have their jab up by their chin and then they, throw the jab and bring it back to their chin. Larry Holmes' jab was just so fast, man. It was like a blur. Like I said, if you watch that Cooney fight, maybe it was just the way the TV was or something, but hit, early on in that fight, bro, when he's throwing the jab, you could see the glaze from the TV screen with his red gloves. Like it was just so damn quick. Uh, Man, he has some quick ass hands, man. One of the fastest 1-2s that you ever see. Not Raji says, man, I just got done watching a few Holmes fight. That dude is really underrated. Yeah, man. Larry Holmes, he can't, Holmes he came between two of the most popular heavyweights, shit, fighters, not just heavyweights, but fighters of all times, eras. He was sandwiched in between the finishing of the 70s, headed by Ali, Foreman, Frazier, and all those guys, Norton, Lyle, and all those guys, right? And then it was his turn for those 7 years, and then it was Mike Tyson. You can't get more popular than Mike Tyson and Ali, and he was literally sandwiched in between those. You know what I mean? With the Mike Weavers and the Big John Tates and the Dokes and the Jerry Coetzee and you know what I mean, the Leon Spinks and all them cats, man. You know what I mean? So kind of unfortunate that he was right there, but shit, man, he still dominated that era. You know what I mean? We can't just overlook it because he wasn't as popular. Dude, you know what I mean? The dude dominated his era, man. And he was giving some of everybody opportunities to fight him. Kind of like what Klitschko did when Vladimir had his strap, man. Look, I don't mind seeing when you're the heavyweight champion. Yes, you want to fight the next best heavyweight available. Yes, you want to fight your mandatories. Yes, you want to try to unify. But I also think there's nothing wrong with giving that 19-0 guy a chance, that 20-0 guy a chance. Larry Holmes always used to do that shit. He would give, David Bay a chance, right? He'll give undefeated guys chances. Marvin, Frazier and all that. You know what I mean? Now some of the guys got blown out the water, but then you had some guys that actually proved themselves against him, like an undefeated Tim Witherspoon. And it's funny that a lot of guys they thought that were trash and Larry Holmes not fighting no household names. A lot of them dudes went on to win titles. Mike Weaver, Bone Crusher Smith, Trevor Burbick, they all went on. That's when I was watching Tim Witherspoon. As I'm watching the fights, I'm like, they talking about these like they trash, but little do they know, in hindsight, them dudes went on to win world titles. Klitschko did it with the Brian Jennings and the Pulevs and the Francisco Pianadas, right? All those guys were undefeated. It's okay we're giving them guys chances, man. You know what I mean? Tyson Fury, although doesn't have a world title belt, but some people look at him as lineal, gave Ottawa a chance. You know what I mean? I liked when Deontay Wilder was looking for an opponent and he gave Gerald Washington a chance. And I was one of the guys, from what I know, I was one of the guys before, what's my man's name? Wawrzyk, the guy that failed the drug test to fight Wilder. I said, if there any, now this before the drug test came out. Maybe it was just the luck of the draw or whatever it was. But literally, bro, like a week before dude failed his test, I did an interview with Gerald Washington, and I said, if anything happens, so happens with this Wawrzyk cat, he gets injured. I think I just said if he gets injured, because I think he'll fail a drug test. I want to see Gerald Washington get his shot. 9 months before Wilder and Washington fought, I did a video about a fantasy match between Wilder and Washington. I just thought it'd be a good stylistic matchup. You know what I mean? So sometimes stuff happens like that though, man. But I like when guys give guys opportunities, man. A lot of champions have done it. You know what I mean? Let me see. Not Roger says, man, okay, yep. D-Lo 404 boxing salute, bro. St. Cruising was good. He says home was my favorite fighter for years. Marciano can't carry my jock strap. Yeah, I remember that. He got a lot of heat for that shit too, man. And he shouldn't have apologized either. I know, nah, man. The dude is talking. Look, man, he isn't a fan. You know what I mean? Well, he is a fan of boxing, but dude, he's the world champion, one of the greatest fighters ever. So he, to me, he was saying that is like, dude, I know y'all love Rocky Marciano, but you put me and him in the ring together, he can't carry my jam jock strap. I'll jab his face away. You know what I mean? He's just talking like a fighter. I don't get upset when fighters say that they would have beat fighters from yesteryear, man. That's the way you're supposed to think. Even if you are trying to be respectful about it and still have respect for the guys that came before you, it's okay to think that you would have dogged them. Shit, why not? You're speaking like that's how fighters talk. Mala2243 says St. Cruiser, no way. Well, okay, y'all talking to each other. King Ufa 206 says Usyk versus Parker would be a war. And hopefully Parker will have that dog in him in that fight. There's no way he should be backing up against Usyk. There's no way he should be. I'm not saying go in there and fight a stupid fight, but he should turn into a bulldog, man. You know what I mean? Get right up in his chest. Try to be aggressive, man. There's no way you should be moving around, going into retreat mode against Usyk, trying to fight off the back foot. I just think he should be very aggressive if they were to fight. And I think he has the foot speed to catch up with Usyk and cut off the ring on him. And I think he has the hand speed to punch with or to lead in the punching against Usyk. Good matchup. You know what I mean? I think Usyk has some mobility. Maybe he can set some traps against Parker. Maybe the southpaw stance will throw him off a little bit. He has pretty quick hands. And it depends if Parker comes out there and tries to, have the nice guy type of role that he has sometimes in his fight, even fights that he wins. He doesn't turn it up enough for me. I can see Usyk winning the decision. Unbiased heavyweight rankings and news says I think Wilder vs Fury is a real 50-50, but I'm picking Wilder again. I can see another controversial draw since they already signed for the trilogy. St. Cruz says I wanted Holmes versus Foreman to fight on the senior tour. Foreman avoided it. Man, I did a video about that too, man. Talking about if Holmes and Foreman would have fought between like 91 and 94. I did a video about that. You guys go check it out if you haven't already. And I think that's the name of it. Foreman versus Holmes, 91 through 94. Who wins? Lala D, good evening. Let me see. Mala2243 says Holmes struggled to get respect after Ali. Holyfield initially struggled to get respect after Tyson. And especially Holmes, man, because he beat an old, war-torn, Alzheimer's, Ali. And it's one of the saddest moments. And I know people say, nope, if you get in the ring, a loss is a loss. People don't like to put things in its proper context sometimes, man. Bro, if you go back and watch that documentary ESPN did 30 for 30, it's called, I believe it's called Muhammad and Larry, but it's the one they did on Holmes and Ali. Bro, if you go watch the training footage for the camp, the Ali Holmes camp, I can't believe they even allowed that man. They allowed Ali in the ring, man. The dude can barely skip rope. He could barely talk. It was sad. So all that whole, if you get in the ring, it's a loss is a loss. It doesn't matter. No, it does matter, man. If you can't skip rope and you get in the ring and get beat, no, a loss isn't just a loss. You shouldn't even be in the ring. And I know it was a money thing. Um, just sad, man. It's just, even to this day, I'm still appalled that they let that dude in the ring. It's just sad watching him train. The dude it literally looked like a 60-year-old trying to train for like a high level fight. I'm not talking about your average Joe 60-year-old in the gym trying to work. I'm talking about like trying to train for a high level professional fight. It was just sad. I damn near came to tears when I seen that documentary about 10 years ago, man. It was just sad. It was sad. This shit was sad, man. Probably one of the saddest moments I've seen in the sport. Um See y'all going. See y'all chopping up with each other here. Let me see. Teddy B, Midwest Sports Talk says, once you won a title, no more tune-ups, man. It's pointless. Yeah, I believe in that too. I'm not sure if you're talking if you're speaking about me saying Parker having a tune-up. I'm not sure if you are, but just in case if you are, I'm just saying based on if he's going to be fighting in February or some shit, man. I think it might be a journeyman type of dude, and then I think him and you. Really, I think just the WBO need to come out with their decision quick, man. Just get this done so we can know what's going on. But I do agree with you though, bro. If you shouldn't be doing no tune-ups. You know what I mean? And if anything, your tune-up in quotes should be like a fringe contender type of guy. It shouldn't be obscure journeyman. Yes, I did see that Lala D. I know you was asking St. Cruising, but yes, I did see that. Spinks breaking down after he beat Ali. Yes, not Roger. Tim Witherspoon gave him hell, and I love me some Larry Holmes, man. But there's two fights I thought he could have lost. Um, the fight with Witherspoon and the fight with Carla Truth Williams. The Carla Truth Williams fight was the only fight that I can remember that I seen somebody literally out jab. I'm not talking about CompuBox. I'm talking about just watching the fight with the eyes. Carl is the only guy I really seen him get the best of Larry in the jab contest. I thought he just was able to jab with Larry, and I thought he was just beating him to the jab that night consistently in that fight. Big Nick, what's good, bro? Yes, sir, man. Back on my boxing grind, man. Jupiter B, what's up? Fiddleback X says watching Holmes break down after the win was heartbreaking. Yep. Mr. Natty Turner one, what's good, bro? He says what's even more sad, that wasn't even his last fight. I know, right? Then the man went on to fight fucking Trevor Berbick, man. It's man. Just to see Ali couldn't skip rope. I mean, the dude was skipping rope, bro. Like, you know how like when kids first start out trying to learn how to skip, and I'm not trying to be funny. Y'all know I love me some Ali, man. You know what I mean? But I'm just being honest about what I saw and trying to give you a graphic depiction of how just fucked up it looked, man. But it looked like somebody trying to learn how to jump rope. That's how bad it was. The Duke only do like two or three skips at a time, stopping, skip, 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 stop, skip, stop, skip, 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 stop, skip. It was just sad. And Jupiter B also think Ali was addicted to the attention and the fame. You know what I mean? You talking about this motherfucker was like Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Wayne Gretzky. I'm talking about American sports here, so I mean my overseas cats, but you know what I mean? Like the top of the top, the creme de la creme. You know what I mean? And that star was fading away. Even Ali looked at even some of his press conference antics wasn't the same. He wasn't as quick. He didn't have the gift of gab. His speech was slow. Some of the stuff he was saying was just late 60s ish. It didn't come off right in the 80s. It just looked real weird. It almost looked like, and again, man, I'm just so y'all can relate because we family, we relate. It looked like your drunk uncle talking shit at the barbecue. You guys get what I'm saying? Y'all can relate to what I'm saying. It came off like that to where it was almost like cringeworthy. You know what I mean? Dennis Bogtoff, man, you keep. I know this is Dennis Bogtoff. I know it is. I know it is. Only Dennis Bogtoff will come in here with these obscure heavyweight journeyman names, except for Safiri. What's good, Dennis? And Dennis, I'll be seeing you on Cali Enigma channel, man. And if this ain't Dennis Bogtoff, I doubt it. I know it is. I know it is. Official AJ, what's good, bro? But Sefer Safiri asked me best American prospect. I think it's Stephen Shaw. He has better names in his resume than Franklin, Arias, and or Cheney. Well, I definitely think Stephen Shaw is a good, fluid fighter. I know he just got done beating Greg Corbin in an impressive knockout victory. Um, Kid from St. Louis. I mean, shit, Shaw got some hands, man. He's quick. He's fluid. He's a big dude. Seems as if he wants to work behind technical skill. And he seems like he has a little bit of pop on him. You know what I mean? Another prospect that has double digit fights that you could have also thrown in there was Darmani Rock, who kind of reminds me of Stephen Shaw to some degree. But Franklin, you know, I like Franklin Wood. Franklin kind of reminds me of Stephen Shaw as well, too, just because he's shorter. But you know, guys that have good fundamental skill set, quick hands, good counter punchers. You know what I mean? Big Nick says, he says, what the fuck are top ranking PBC playing at no press tour for Wilder versus Fury 2? Both promoters have failed their fighters. This is a huge fight, and both fighters deserve the massive exposure. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I'm on one accord with that as far as they should do press tours. I've said that when it first came out that they wasn't doing a press tour. Although I will say that, you know, Fury being on College Game Day for the college bowl games is a big deal out here in the states. And from what I'm hearing, they may do some type of uh, press for during the Super Bowl, and we know that that's huge out here. But I think there should be some press conferences done. Tom Schwartz versus Nathan Gorman. Hmm. I'm gonna go with Gorman. St. Cruising says Ali was taking. Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that, St. Cruising. He says Ali was taking these weight loss drugs and still look cosmetically good. Dyed his hair, shaved, hold the mustache, but zero left. Yes, I do remember that. And even though the weight was gone, the body, and that's funny though, man. When you get older like that, you can lose a lot of weight real quick, but the body still look flabby. It's not. It didn't look the same. So you can tell it's one of those rush jobs where you just got all the weight off. You know what I mean? Like one of those I'm going on vacation weight loss plans. You know what I mean? Just get all the weight off. I don't care how my body looks. But yeah, I'm not gonna drag this out any much longer, man. That's all I really want to talk about. Oh, but while I'm here, I might as well give my brief opinion about this divisive ass topic, Crawford versus Spence. Here's just my quick thing on it. Now, okay, have I followed every single interview of them going back and forth over the last year? No, I haven't. Have I sit and watched every single video of them? No, I haven't. Have I read every single? No, I haven't. But as a fan though, man, I think both of these guys have said some things that are kind of head scratching to me. Uh, Across the street, around the block, whatever the fuck that was, that just, especially in the age of when we're dealing with AJ Wilder and all that, you know, that was just like, please, I don't want to hear about no other side of the street shit. Regardless of how he meant to say it, it just didn't sound right. Talk to Bob. I don't like the talk to Bob shit. We're talking to you. You know what I mean? I don't like that. Um, Look, man, I respect both of these dudes. I love welterweight, undefeated welterweight unification clashes, right? I love De La Hoya, Trinidad, uh, Hearns, Leonard. You know what I mean? I love, even though Leonard wasn't undefeated, but you get what I'm saying, though. I love these type of styles, man, or these type of clashes. So I just want to see the fight get made. I know that's kind of a diplomatic way of seeing things. I just want to see the shit get made, man. But this thing is very divisive. I've just been looking at it. It's a sticky topic, man. But want to see the fight get made. I don't like hearing shit like Terrence Crawford doesn't deserve the fight. That sounds corny, man. What do you like? What do you, he's a title holder. You don't need to deserve anything to make a unification. Yeah, you do deserve it. You're trying to get a unification fight. Some of this, not all of it, but some of this kind of reminds me of Wilder, AJ, White. Some of it with the throwing when you throw Porter, Crawford, and Spence in there. Now, I will say this: Errol Spence got into a car accident, man. Whenever you get teeth removed from your fucking face and your head get bashed and your car flips over a whole bunch of times, I don't care what the doctor or what they say. I have to see if you're still even the same fighter. If people need to see if you're the same fighter after suffering a devastating one punch knockout loss, I need to see if you're the same after a horrific car accident. And thank God that that man survived that, let alone fuck just so we can box, just so we can be here amongst us. You dig what I'm saying? So God bless him that night, man. You know what I mean? Um, so I will say that. All right. Now, with that said, I like that Crawford's calling him out. But if Crawford can't get the fight next, right away next, I do think he should target other PBC fighters, whether it's Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, whoever it is. Call out Spence, try to get Spence. Because that's the big fight. It's a unification fight. Get us one closer to undisputed. If you can't get him, call out the next title holder, Manny Pacquiao, right? If you can't get that, that doesn't work out. It's not okay, cool. If is your mandatory out the way, if that's out the way, and you don't have no deadlines on that, you need to be fighting a PBC fighter. If it's Sean Porter, then hell, throw Sean Porter up in the ring. You know what I mean? But all that he don't deserve it and who he beat, come on, y'all. Like, we don't want to go there, man, with the who he beat and he don't deserve. You know, you got two title holders, bro. Like that to me, for me as a fan, that don't make no sense. That's the lot of arguments I was having 3 years ago when this whole Wilder and AJ thing first started. You guys remember these videos? People come to the channel think I'd be exaggerating this shit, man. I'd be like, dude, maybe you wasn't watching the videos, but a lot of people were saying Wilder don't deserve it. Who he beat? And I was like, what? Y'all don't want to just see a unification straight up? No, fight White first. For what? What? To build his profile? What? Like, what are we talking about? You don't want to just see unification straight away. What do you mean prove himself against a non-title? I can't go there again, man. So this is probably the only last time I speak about this. I just want to see the fight. I respect them both. It's a mega fight. Put the motherfuckers in the ring, let them fists fly, man. You dig what I'm saying? Stylistically, I favor Crawford. You know what I mean? Would I be shocked or appalled if Spence went in there and beat him? No. But I favor Crawford 52-48. I think it's a very close fight. Um, Maybe, you know, if that fight gets close or it gets made, obviously I'll do a style breakdown, but I just want to see it get made, man. So that's pretty much it on that, man. I appreciate all y'all showing up, and I will read what y'all think about the Crawford and Spence situation, man. Um, but until next time, y'all be easy. I'm gone.